Good evening, Villa Park. We are here at the Villa Park Village Board seating, and I have three guests here from the Villa Park Warriors organization. And why don't we just go around the group here and introduce ourselves? We start with Rich Thomas.
I'm Rich Thomas, Vice President of Villa Park Football and Cheer. Been around here for 6 years coaching, and now I'm a member of the board.
Darren Bliss, football operations. Been with the program since inception, 2007. Been coaching every year since, and glad to be here.
Amanda Thomas. I've been in the program for 6 years, cheering, and this upcoming year I'll be a junior coach.
Okay, and again, my name's Al Stash, and I've never been in the program, but it's a great program here in Villa Park. And I want to clear up a confusion here. First of all, you guys are not Willowbrook High School, right? You have the W, you're sponsored by Willowbrook or supported by Willowbrook, but you're not part of the high school, correct?
Not directly. We are what you would call as a feeder program for the high school, which means we have a nice, wonderful partnership with the high school. They bless us with the use of their facilities, and we pretty much do everything the Warrior way, which people in Villa Park should be familiar with.
Yeah.
And we train our kids, teach our kids the right way, the proper way to play football or to cheer, and then when they get to the high school, they're that much further along. Hopefully, in time, gives them a state championship due to the work that's been put in here.
Well, talking about the Warrior way, one of the things that started your program was a Warrior, Matt Roth, who was a wrestler and football player at Willowbrook High School, and he started with some seed money for the program, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and he's still playing, he went on to play college football and professional football. He's with the Jacksonville
Jacksonville Jaguars now, I believe,
Okay.
correct?
Yeah. Okay, something to be proud of and something for the kids to look up to, right?
Yes, definitely.
Does he ever come back and interact with anybody in the league? Has he been back to talk to your players or coaches or anything like that?
He's come back a couple of times in the beginning. As of late, scheduling issues,
Right.
but looking forward to having him come back. Welcome anytime.
Okay, he's probably watching right now, so
Yes,
we'll
sir.
give him a personal invitation to come back and see the players that he helped get started here. And not only is it football, but it's also cheer. And way down there at the end of our group here is a new junior cheer coach, right?
Correct.
What does a junior cheer coach do?
The junior cheer coach is basically important to the team because they're the ones who teach all the girls their skills and abilities to become high school cheerleaders in the future.
Okay. Well, one of the things that people always look at when they have a coach is what kind of experience you have. And you've got some pretty unique experience because you were involved 2 years ago in a national championship cheer program, right?
Correct.
What happened?
We got first place at regionals, and that brought us all the way to Florida, and we placed third place there.
Okay. Okay, so that was 2 years ago. And then a year ago, there was another team that went down there, right, from our Warrior division.
Yes.
And what happened with them?
They got first place in regionals again, and then they are also a lower level, so they got to go to Florida,
Yeah.
and they got second place there.
Well, some of you may remember the night that we had the meeting for the village board at Willowbrook High School. That team came by and did a presentation on stage at Willowbrook High School before they went down to Florida. So we're always welcome to have, you guys back and talk about this. So we're going to come back to cheer in a second, but I want to come back to football. And today's opening day for baseball. Why are we talking about football now? What's important that's coming up in your division or your league in the next couple of days?
Well, football is definitely a year-round sport for us. It's we have three big dates coming up. This Saturday, we're going to have registration for football and cheer for all kids ages 5 through 14, as long as you're not in high school yet.
Okay.
Then a couple weeks later, on the 23rd,
27th.
I'm sorry, the 27th,
27th?
the town hall.
Oh, town hall.
Yeah, on the 23rd, we're going to have a town hall meeting.
Okay.
For any parent that may be on the fence as to if they want their child to join or play or cheer. There's a lot of things in the media going on about concussions and things
We're
like
going
that.
to talk about that, yeah.
And then on the 27th, we have a big fundraiser at the VFW Hall in St. Charles to raise money for the football and cheer program so we can keep all of our stuff up to date.
The guy sitting out in the audience, Sid Berg, is one of the junior vice commanders of the VFW. So he'll welcome you when you go over there, right, Sid?
Right.
And glad to have you. Let's talk about the registration first of all. What locations, what time, et cetera?
It'll be at Willowbrook High School
Okay.
in the basement where the weight room's at.
Okay.
I'll
So
be
that's
there.
through the front entrance, by the rock?
Front entrance, correct.
Okay,
And just go down the stairs, you'll see the gym there, just go down the stairs. There'll probably be a couple signs up, and then just look for the table. I'll probably be there, Darren,
Yes, sir.
all the other coaches will be there, and come sign up.
and you can tell the parents and kids what to expect if they're new to the league, et cetera.
Exactly, we'll size you up, we'll see where you'll fall in the, as far as your weight classes and stuff, and we'll be happy to have anybody, all comers are welcome.
Okay, now the town hall meeting that you said was on the 23rd,
Correct.
tell me about that a little bit.
It's basically a couple of things. Number one, we want to do, it's an educational series to talk about the league, talk about the teams, how our coaches are certified, our philosophy, to talk about the safety measures that are in place. I firmly believe and back that our safety measures for concussions and safety measures in general for the kids are above and beyond what anybody else in any league is doing.
Good.
For us, the kids' safety comes first, their love for the game second, and winning comes last.
Right, right.
A safe kid is a happy kid, is a productive kid on the field.
Right, and they're going to play well, that's for
Yes.
sure, that's for sure. Well, the coaches that, you guys are both coaches, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to be on the field with the kids during practice and their games, and there are many different divisions. I know you mentioned before we got on the air that those divisions are still in flux in terms of what the name of them are, like used to be Pee Wee, Junior Pee Wee, et cetera, et cetera.
That's correct.
All-American was another team name last year. But that league is still, your involvement with that league is still being formulated, right?
Yeah, yeah. What it is, we may be in transition. Changes are coming, and that's another topic we'll discuss on the 23rd as far as the changes
In
to
the
the
town hall,
league.
right.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Okay, now, the cheer teams, they are associated with each of the football teams, correct? So they're going to have a football team, whatever it is, Pee Wee or Villa Park Kids, whatever you want to call them, and there'll be a cheer team associated with that team, right, for home and away games, right?
Specifically for that team, yeah.
Okay, so they can learn, know the schedule that they're going to be involved with easily, that'll be posted, et cetera, et cetera. That's great, because now they interact all together as families. Because I know how important this is for families in the league. You know, my kids played different sports, but in any sport, the involvement of the parents and grandparents and uncles and brothers and sisters is all big. I'm sure you got a lot of families where brothers are playing with sisters cheerleading, right?
That was the
Any
case in my
girls
house, yes.
playing football this year?
We did have a girl that played football last year, and she signed back up again the very first day of registration.
That's awesome, that's
Yes,
awesome.
it is.
Kicking or, usually
No,
the kickers?
she's on the field playing.
I think
I love
She's
it.
on the field
Yeah.
playing.
I love it, play the game.
Yes, I do. Yes,
I saw her
come out and
practice,
see
she
her.
was really good.
Yeah?
She was really
Well, I
good.
wish her best of luck. Let's talk a little bit about something that you mentioned twice, and that is the ongoing press about injuries, especially head and neck injuries to football players, professional, non-professional, amateur. Coaches have what training in order to help alleviate those problems or identify?
Well, we make it mandatory that all of our coaches, past and future incoming coaches, have to take a clinic and get certified as far as concussion, safety, and awareness goes.
Yeah.
All of our coaches take multiple clinics, they're required to during the year.
Okay.
Head coaches take more than assistant coaches. We're certified through USA Football, which is a partner with the NFL.
Okay,
So we start at the top with the NFL's standards, and we bring it down to our level.
okay. And another thing that's been talked about frequently is the headgear that the players use for the game. Whether it's, I think they're all, one of the most common manufacturers is Rydell, right?
Right out, yes.
Correct.
Okay, and you guys use that equipment, it's not B-grade stuff? right?
No, our helmets, Rydell collects all our helmets at the end of the year. They thoroughly go through them. They certify the helmets. Those that don't pass their muster are rejected.
Right.
That's us buying new helmets. Helmets are typically good for 5 years, 5 to 7 years. But the turnover rate, it's getting to that point where we're, every year we buy newer helmets. So we keep a fresh supply coming in, we rotate them, so.
Right.
Like I said, they have to be certified to meet the criteria that Rydell puts out.
Okay. Now, do the cheer team, they have helmets too, or no?
No.
Okay. I just have to ask, trying to be thorough in my questions here. The league starts scheduled practices when?
I think it's the last Monday in July. I don't know the date off the top of my head.
July.
Last week of July is when we officially start. We have a week of non-contact. It's called the conditioning week. It's mandatory through the league. After that, we go into full pads, full contact, after they pass that conditioning week.
Right, okay. And that's to help them get their wind, their agility, their muscle tone, and also to get associated with the heat, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, because that was the other issue that came up before, and I know you guys addressed that well in terms of making sure they're hydrated properly before and during and after the practices, so that's good. How often do you have games?
Every week.
Every
Usually
week
on-
for what time period?
We get 9 regular season games, so it's usually on Sundays, sometimes on Saturdays.
Okay,
And then we've been fortunate for the last few years, we've had teams making the playoffs. Last year, I think we had 4 teams.
14.
Last 2 years, we've had 4 teams make the playoffs. 2 years in a row, we've had, 3 years in a row, we've had teams in the semis, and the last couple of years, we've had teams in the finals.
yeah,
And that's usually about 3 games to get to the championship.
okay.
Yeah, our season runs the first weekend of September through the third week of October, fourth week of October, with the playoffs beginning in November.
Okay, and you play on Sundays, right?
Sundays, correct, at the high school.
Okay, and I want to bring that up about the high school. I mean, most high schools, football programs around this area have the new surface,
Yes, sir.
and Willowbrook does as well, and that's got to be a blessing.
It-
For
you know,
cheer, too. I mean, you're not in the mud on the sidelines either.
That's the first thing we hear with visiting teams is just when they walk into the stadium and see that field. The kids' eyes light up actually playing on turf that professionals play on.
Right.
They just can't believe that we have that field, and we're lucky enough to play on it.
Right. And it's great because you can feel confident that unless you have, and I know last year you had this torrential downpour one Sunday. I think it was opening day.
Opening weekend,
Right.
yes.
Hit a
yeah.
couple
Right.
of them,
Yeah, and even then, you played all of your games. All the
We
way
got-
through All-American, the oldest boys that were on the
We
field.
got them all in.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
it's kind of slow, but,
Yeah, there was a slight delay, but we did finally get them in. We got them underneath the lights and played all games.
yeah. Now, you travel when you play opposing teams away.
We do.
I know there's teams in Chicago. Tell me about the geographics of the travel.
It's pretty much Chicagoland. If you want to go look at it that way, you can go into the city. We've gone up north to the north suburbs, out west to Plainfield.
Yeah.
We've gone as far south as Homewood Flossmoor. And it's nice. The thing while the travel, some people like it or don't like it. I like it because as a true feeder program, that's what the kids are going to be doing when they get to high school.
Right.
They'll be
They're on
traveling
a bus, yeah.
all over the place to play and to cheer.
Yeah. Cheerleading, they go to away games as well, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me about cheer during the game. I mean, you're going to do the pregame cheers, right?
Yeah, we cheer all
Walk
through
through
the
the whole
game.
thing for you little girl that's out there says, cheer, what do I have to do if I go to a game? Am I going to be cheering on the sidelines? No, there's some on-field stuff too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
Well, the first half of the game, you cheer on the sidelines all the time. You just cheer and cheer. And then when halftime comes, the boys run off the field, and then all the cheerleaders go to the field and they perform what you would just call like a halftime routine.
Okay?
And your coaches would make that up for you, and the crowd just loves it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. And now, there's a distinction between cheer and dance, right? Like palms and cheer. Mm-hmm. And this is cheer, right? Where
Cheer.
you'll do, the older girls will do the pyramids and the
Stunting.
flips and things like that. It's not a dance routine program, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I just want to make that distinction because when you get to Willowbrook, you see both of them on the field during a football halftime show, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Tell me a little bit about the fees and the fundraising.
Our fees are,
275 this year.
right,
Fundraising required to sell raffle tickets, $75 worth, which that covers their jerseys. Forgot to mention that at the end of the years, the players get to keep both their home and away jerseys.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. You see them around town, boys wearing them. The jersey looks real sharp, but that's just the requirement we have.
Okay.
Actually, believe it or not, we are one of the lowest registration fees in the area.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You're keeping costs down. That's good.
Right, yeah, we try to. We try to keep it as low as possible, just so we can get more people out here.
Okay, great. Now, registration this Saturday at Willowbrook High School
9 to 12.
from 9 till 12, and they go in the lower level, they'll see signs there, and look for Villa Park Warriors program for football and cheer, right?
Correct.
Thanks to Rich, Darren, and Amanda. We loved having you here. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
you.
Come
Thank
out and
you.
see us every Sunday.
All right.
Thank you.
And the alarms.